Hey, this is Ordinary Alfred. When the Together update came out, one of the cool things that was added to the game was synergy between elemental effects, or as they aptly call it, advanced status effects. These advanced status effects are Searing, dealing fire damage to a plague-infected target will increase the fire damage taken. Overload, dealing lightning damage to a burn target will create a powerful AoE. And Fester, dealing plague damage to a bleeding target will reduce build-up recovery. Just going with those descriptions alone, Overload is the one with the visual or graphical component to it. Searing increases fire damage, and Fester slows recovery from bleed. Those interactions or status effects might be hard to notice, especially when you're not specifically looking out for them. In Overload, you get this explosive ring of electricity. It's actually quite satisfying to pull off, especially during boss fights. How do you actually activate advanced status effects, especially in single player? 1. You can use 2 weapons with different infusions and you switch between them during fights. I'm not really a fan of this method because most of the time, I don't really know my left from my right. And I tend to be more on the jumpy side, especially during intense battles. I probably won't be able to pull this off properly. 2. You can slap elemental runes on a weapon that has a different element. Example for Searing, you can put in fire runes in a plague-infused weapon. For Overload, you can put in lightning runes in a fire-infused weapon. And for Fester, you can put in plague runes in a bleed-infused weapon. Your basic attacks will gain focus and build up the required status effect. Then you unleash the needed elemental rune attack to trigger the advanced status effect. I think this is the most fun way to trigger advanced status effects. You have to gain focus and build up the required status effect before triggering the rune attack imbued with the second element. It requires a bit of effort, but I think the payout is worth it, and perhaps much more satisfying. The third and the easiest method is to slap 2 runes with the requisite element on your weapon, then use the Ring of Determination or the Battle Cry ring to cast them. This is the method that I went for this build, just the easy no-effort way to trigger the Overload status effect. I just wanted to play with something powerful without so much fuss, something with a simple and relaxed playstyle that even a beginner would be able to pull it off. So yeah, introducing the Burning Love Overload build. A chill and stress-free build that's guaranteed to make quick work of mobs and bosses in the game. Let's get into the gear here. We have the Brutal Maul, it's a one-handed hammer that scales with faith. I switch up the runes for these 4. Blazing Rupture, I took this from the Unholy Earth Club. This is the primary rune that I use to burn up enemies. Fire Throw, which I extracted from this Climber's Peak hammer. Fire Flurry, which I got from this Coiled Dawn Wakizashi. And Stormpiercer, which is taken from the Scorched Broadblade. After successfully inflicting burn on the target, this is the lightning attack that I use to trigger the Overload effect. For the facet, we have Keen. It increases the critical hit chance, but it lowers poise damage. Normally, a one-handed hammer has a 20% chance to crit. The Keen facet gives us an extra 5%. I specifically wanted Keen or the Razor facet for this build. These 2 facets increases crit chance. Whenever I play fire-based builds, I always go for a way that maximizes critical hit chance and critical damage. That's because we have this enchantment unique to the fire element. It gives a higher critical hit chance against burning enemies. This means, among all the other elements, fire is the one that's specifically configured to work well with critical damage. Going back here to the weapon, I put in Mottled Bloodstone for lifesteal. Since we are using our health to cast rune attacks, it's critical we get some of our health back with each and every attack. This gem will help us do just that. For the enchantments, rune damage increased. We're only using rune attacks with this build, so this enchantment benefits us greatly. Then we have critical hit chance increase to increase our probability of landing a critical strike. Then we have gain health on fatality, which pretty much guarantees we are always in full health when going through normal mobs and monsters. Movement speed increase after damage dealt by a rune attack. This gives us a massive speed boost every after a rune attack. Then on the downside, lose focus on damage taken. Okay, on to the offhand. We have the legendary medium shield, Heart's Desire. What really drew me onto the shield are these 2 enchantments. Health regeneration while blocking, and healing increase by 20%. Paired with other healing enchantments and mottled skulls on our gear, we can gain the fastest health regeneration possible, which gives us really awesome survivability. We put in Mottled Ruby in the gem slot to inflict fire damage while blocking. You get this really cool pulsing ring of fire around you whenever you're blocking. For the enchantments, we've mentioned we have health regeneration and healing increase. The third one is Stagger Resistance increase, which is a really cool perk as well. Moving on to the armor set, we're using the Hearthguard Mesh armor set. For the facets, we have Agile on the helmet and pants, and Durable on the body armor and gloves. The really important ones here are the Durable facet on the body armor and gloves. You'll eventually see why once we get to the enchantments. For the gems to push health regeneration even further, I put in all modeled skulls. For the enchantments, we have increased fire damage in all our gear. And then to optimize our critical hit chance and critical damage, we have critical hit chance increased against burning enemies here on the gloves, and critical damage increased here on the helmet and pants. To increase our damage against high defense enemies, we have armor penetration here on the helmet and pants. Then to further improve our healing regeneration, I put in 20 health regeneration here on the body armor, healing increase at low focus here on the helmet, then healing increased by percentage of current durability, and durability increased here on the gloves. This is the reason I chose the durable facet here on the gloves, as it really pushes the healing increased enchantment as high as we can possibly get it to. Then to give us increased tankiness, we have elemental resistance increased here on the pants, damage resistance increased by percentage of current durability, and increased durability here on the body armor. Similarly with the gloves, this is the reason why the durable facet is important on the body armor, as it pushes our damage resistance enchantment even higher. For the downsides, we have heavy roll only here on the pants, which is not really a downside for this build since we're operating on the heavyweight class. Then we have focus-based downsides on all the other armor pieces. You might have noticed I did not put anything specific to lightning, which is the other half of the overload effect. My thought process here is since fire is the precursor, you have to successfully inflict burn on enemies before launching lightning. We will use fire more often than lightning, making lightning and the overload effect more like icing on the cake. For the rings, we have the Rune Ring, the Battle Cry Ring, and the Ring of Serendipity. The Rune Ring increases our rune damage but lowers our attack damage. The lower attack damage is really inconsequential as we won't be using our basic attacks anyway. The Battle Cry Ring allows us to use our health to cast rune attacks, but with the downside of a 20% healing rate reduction. That is okay as we have the Serendipity Ring, which essentially negates that downside. For the stats, I put in 60 on health to give us massive hit points, 13 on equip load, which is just enough to not be encumbered, then 44 in faith to scale our damage. As for the gameplay style for this build, for normal mobs, the Blazing Rupture rune is usually enough to one-shot most of the small to medium monsters. We get a speed boost every time we use our rune attack, so that helps us move quickly from one target to another. Gain health on fatality, lifesteal, and our massive health regeneration allows a reckless playstyle where we don't have to dodge and parry. We just run and use Blazing Rupture in every monster we encounter. For bosses though, we get our shield up to max our health regeneration, we use Blazing Rupture to burn the enemy, then quickly follow it up with the Stormpiercer to trigger the overload effect. That's pretty much all we have to do. We might have to dodge and parry sometimes, but currently this build can make quick work of any boss available in the game right now. Well, that's it. If you guys have feedback, questions, or requests, please feel free to put something in the comment section. Also, if you like my work, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!